see Diddy?
I don't think he's here.
He's out with French Montana and he's in Miami, actually.
So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of...
Diddy would definitely be proud of you tonight. Is he around, though? Nope, he's not here. He's out in Miami with French Montana. So, who did you spend the weekend with? Just some friends, Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, and French Montana. But seriously, if this doesn't make sense, then how did she end up with Pete Davidson? Stuff like that happens all the time. And what if he leaves because you weren't enough for him? What does that even say about the whole situation? Oh, and a big shout out to our amazing models today, Cece and the team. You all did such an awesome job. Shout out to Son Jordan. It was so great meeting you. And a huge thanks to the amazing kids of our staff, Chris, Madison, Zachary, Ava, Dylan, and Ashley. You guys are the best. If you want more updates on Spoil Fashions, don't forget to check out our Facebook page. I'm going to be a big star one day. You just wait. I'm betting on myself, and if this were a race, I'd put all my money on Diddy. Oh, and here's something wild. Did you know Corey Gamble was super close to Kim Porter and Diddy? He was even there at Kim Porter's house when the coroners arrived after the 911 call. Crazy, right? That's Corey Gamble for you. There's some confusion about this whole situation. It's definitely not the person in the blue, but the one right behind him. Honestly, I don't even have a theory. I'm just as confused as everyone else. Katt Williams is at it again, calling out the industry, and this time he's pulling Kim Kardashian into the Diddy drama. But that's not all. Word is, Kim and her momager, Kris Jenner, are freaking out because Diddy's trial is coming up. All the shady stuff they're allegedly involved in might get exposed. So now, Kim's turning to none other than Donald Trump for help. And it doesn't stop there. There are already receipts floating around showing Kim and her team might be deeper in this mess than we thought. So, Kim and her sisters used to hit up Diddy's parties all the time back in the day, and they even bragged about it on their reality show. So, why do you care about going now? Well, I got invited, and I think it'll be fun. When are you going to start acting your age, though? This whole rap scene with people like Rick Ross and Diddy, do you really think that's your crowd? Honestly, I know a thing or two about rap music. As for Kim going to Trump for help, it might seem random, but if you remember, she worked with him before on prison reform. She even helped him pardon Alice Johnson back in 2018. So, why would Kim need Trump's help now? What exactly is she worried about with this whole Diddy scandal?
My friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far French Montana.
If what I'm saying is not correct, then how does she end up with Pete Davidson?
I mean, it happens all the time.
And what if you weren't even good enough for Pete and he leaves you? What do that mean the product was?
I want to give a very special shout out to our models today, Cece's son Jordan, who we met, and the fabulous children of our staff here at Chris, Madison, Zachary, Ava, Dylan, and Ashley. Thanks, guys. For more information on Swirl Fashions, check out our Facebook page.
I'm going to be a big star one day.
Big star one day. I'm counting on, I'm betting on you.
Yeah.
If I was at the races, I would bet on Diddy.
That not only was Corey Gamble extremely close to Kim Porter and Diddy, he was there. He was there when the coroners arrived to Kim Porter's house after 911 was called. Am I crazy? That's Corey Gamble, 100%. Not in the blue, the one right behind him. Like, I don't even have a theory. I'm just...
She used the same tactics on other troubled stars like Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Bynes, and even Justin Bieber. And remember back in 2020 when Kanye had that big meltdown and disappeared for a bit? When Kanye was in Wyoming, he claimed that Kim and Kris were trying to lock him up. Well, here's what people are saying. They were actually planning to put him under a conservatorship and even reached out to Lou Taylor to help make it happen. But once Kanye started calling them out publicly, they reportedly dropped the whole plan. And here's the crazy part. The Kardashians aren't just friendly with Lou Taylor. They actually have business ties with her. Documents obtained by Page 6 show that Lou and her company, TriStar, were listed as a registered agent for several Kardashian businesses. The businesses include King Kylie LLC, King Kylie Holdings and Cake W Fragrance, so their connection is pretty strong. Then, during Kim and Kanye's divorce, some paperwork came up showing that Kim had actually listed Lou Taylor as the manager of her trust fund. Now, you might be thinking, what does any of this have to do with Diddy? Well, it turns out Lou Taylor and Diddy go way back. They first crossed paths in the 90s while working with Uptown Records. And here's where it gets even crazier. Lou allegedly reached out to Diddy asking him to. It gets even more shocking. Apparently, Lou Taylor reached out to Diddy, asking him to give Britney substances just before her infamous 2007 VMAs performance. This was just months before she was placed under that controversial conservatorship. The night before the VMAs, Britney partied with Diddy in Vegas, and there are rumors that her performance the next day was planned to publicly humiliate her, making her seem unfit and in need of the conservatorship. Allegedly, Diddy gave Britney drinks that were spiked, which might have contributed to her disastrous performance the next day. Next day, perhaps her performance was less than polished because of all the partying she got in Sin City rather than rehearsal time. Late Friday night, Britney hit 3 hot pots and was snapped at Caesar's Palace at Pure Nightclub with P. Diddy. Saturday night she hit the dance floor again, and last night, after leaving the awards, Britney was spotted at Noir Nightclub until 2:30 this morning, where she apparently spent most of her time in the restroom. But that's not all. Remember Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy? So Lil Rod alleged Diddy's accountant Robin Greenhill was responsible for handling things like wiring money, transferring funds, and making cash payments to workers. Robin Greenhill just so happens to be an executive at Lou Taylor's company, and she played an active role in helping Britney's dad spy on her during the conservatorship. It's like all the puzzle pieces are falling into place. Oh, and get this, there's a rumor floating around that the Kardashians, with the help of Lou Taylor, may have played a role in stealing up to $600 million from Britney Spears during her conservatorship. Now, word in Hollywood is that the Kardashians may have stolen $600 million from Britney Spears' YouTube. Google it, find out how companies and bank accounts are linked, and how all of a sudden Kylie Jenner pops up as a billionaire. But it's possible that these Hollywood families, established Hollywood families, know how to MK Ultra a talented celebrity, put them under a conservatorship, and then take their money. What if? But if you thought that was wild, wait until you hear about Kris Jenner's boyfriend Corey Gamble and his connections to Diddy. So Corey's been with Kris for what feels like forever, but have you ever stopped to wonder where this guy even came from? It's like one day he just appeared as Kris's boyfriend and nobody really knows what he was up to before that. What's even crazier is how connected Corey is in Hollywood. He's been out here hanging with everyone from Diddy and Jay-Z to Ellen DeGeneres and even Prince Harry. Check out this clip where Corey and Jay-Z were seen helping Beyoncé to her car after a Grams party. Apparently, they were trying to keep the paparazzi from catching her looking drunk. Chill out. Sorry, Jay. Sorry. Take all. But seriously, why is Corey acting like he's Beyoncé's bodyguard? And if that wasn't enough, he's also been spotted flying on the Carter's private jet several times. So what exactly does Corey do? Well, some people are saying he might be one of those Hollywood handlers. But wait, why would Corey be a handler for other celebs when he's already with Kris Jenner? I mean, she's not exactly struggling for money. While some sources are saying that Corey's role as a handler might be more complicated than we think, there's a rumor going around that these Hollywood handlers could be involved in some secret government work. Remember Kanye's old personal trainer, Harley PCK? After he threatened to send Kanye back to Zombieland, it came out that Harley had ties to Canadian intelligence. He even admitted in an interview that he worked at a military facility researching substances that regular people don't have access to, and the area that I was interested in was how drugs and food affect muscular performance. And when you say drugs, that like performance-enhancing drugs, or they all kinds of drugs. So working for the military, I wasn't governed by the same laws that the typical person was, so I could look at the impact of certain drugs that are not everyday things. It looks like these celebrity handlers aren't just your average assistants. Allegedly, they're hired by powerful people in the industry to keep stars in check, make sure they don't spill any big secrets, and keep him in line. And according to Kanye, Harley Pastor is just one of many handlers working behind the scenes in Hollywood. In fact, Kanye previously hinted one of these handlers is around his family, and fans couldn't help but wonder if he was talking about Corey Gamble. By the way, Kanye has made it clear that he doesn't want Corey around his kids back in the Summer of 2020, Kanye went to his Wyoming ranch and went off on Twitter accusing Kim and Kris of trying to have him committed to a 5,150 psychiatric hold. And then, in a follow-up post, Kanye said Kris and are not allowed around my children. So at first fans thought Kanye's issue with Corey was because he was overstepping boundaries with the Kardashian kids. Like that time Corey said he'd put his hands on Kourtney and Scott's daughter Penelope. If she ever scratched him, I'm whipping her ass and I'll explain to y'all later what I would. Whoop her ass. You would whoop Penelope's ass. If she scratched you, I would give her a spanking for sure. My daughter, are you talking about scratch? What, my daughter's ass? If she scratched me, she scratched you. Whip my daughter's ass. Why not? If she scratched you, a little 6-year-old girl, are you talking about? That's the problem. Stop it now. Some fans defended Corey, saying maybe Kourtney and Scott's kids were a handful, but Scott wasn't having it. He called it weird for Corey to even think he had the right to discipline someone else's child. It wasn't like, if I was the nanny, this is what I would have done. If I was you as a parent, this is what I would have done. I said, I'm going to ask you again. Do you mean you personally would actually do that and put hands and hurt my little daughter? I just want to understand that. And he said, hell yeah, I would. Honestly, it's crazy that Corey would act like that he's not even part of the family. And for him to say he would touch Penelope is just wild. It's kind of like when Harley Pass threatened to have Kanye put away. Same controlling vibe, but Corey's strange behavior doesn't stop there. Fans have also noticed how he seems a little too interested in Kylie, with some calling out the creepy looks he's given her. I want to put just like glittery pink in the middle, and if her mom any commission, she should have been here. Kanye actually called out Corey way back in 2019 for acting shady and refusing to introduce his own family to the Kardashians. But what's even weirder is that Kris' defense, blaming her family for putting negative ideas about him in Kanye's head. Kanye texted Corey something really rude. Kanye was like, I think it's weird, like we've never met his family, that's weird. But Kanye wasn't finished yet. In 2022, he posted a picture of Corey on Instagram and went off in the caption calling him godless. Kanye even mentioned Corey's ties to Diddy and Justin Bieber and wrote, God has a plan to remove the godless Corey, needed to never be here anyway, and I think he's a nice person, not a great person. A nice person who used to be around Puff's family, then got around Justin Bieber, and then when Kris got divorced he slid in. We still never met his family, and I guess we never will. And then on top of all this, a video leaked of Kanye talking to someone on the phone where he straight up said that Corey is defin to fightly CIA, like he didn't got to say it. I know it's CIA. And get this, just one day after that video blew up, online reports started popping up trying to clear up who Corey really is and what he was up to before he met Kris. It seemed like they were trying to control the story before anyone started digging too deep into Corey's past, but it didn't take long for internet detectives to find out that Corey has some pretty serious ties to Diddy that go way back. In fact, Corey was one of the first people to show up when Diddy's ex Kim Porter passed away in 2018, and there's a rumor that Diddy sent him there to help clean up Kim's place and grab her electronics before the police even arrived. How am I just now finding out that not only was Corey Gamble extremely close to Kim Porter and Diddy, he was there when the coroners arrived to Kim Porter's house after 911 was called. Am I crazy? That's Corey Gamble 100% not in the blue. The one right behind him. Like, I don't even have a theory, I'm just confused, and we're going to talk about this in the deep dive. But Kim Porter, when she passed away, there was obviously discrepancies in police reports versus coroner reports. Another thing we know for a fact is P. Diddy had. There are rumors that Kim Porter's house was wired with audio devices and cameras. So, the big question is, was her passing caught on tape? Does Diddy have footage of Kim's death? It's crazy to think how Diddy seems to be everywhere, connected to so many people, but he's mainly known as Kris Jenner's boyfriend. Apparently, Kim Porter knew Corey, and they were all friends when she was still with Diddy. But now, some people are saying that Diddy sent Corey to be Kim's friend and earn her trust so he could spy on her. The shady links between the Kardashians and Diddy are starting to come out, and Kim is reportedly freaking out. Word is, she's even tried to get close to Melania Trump, thinking that hanging out with the Trumps might help her when Diddy's trial starts. Kim recently posted a picture of Melania from the inauguration, and it really got people talking. Since Kim's always backed Democratic candidates before, now people are wondering if she might be switching sides. Fans are talking about how Katt Williams mentioned Kim during his viral 2024 Club Shay interview. Action with the Kardashians and Jenners than we know? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't miss the next video.